Back on the continuation of folding of the embryo continuation. Members, welcome back to Shabit Uganda in learning. We are so warm welcome to our channel. We love you so much and thank you for the support. Generously you have supported us, and we would like to send our felt gratitude towards you, our community. We love you so much. We are continuing with the embryonic development, 4th week to 8th week. Now you're looking at folding of the embryo. We are continuing. Now we tend to find that all foods coverage on the ventral surface of the embryo to produce whole gas constriction of the yolk sac. The amniotic cavity enlarges to enclose the ventral surface of the embryo, and amniotic membrane forms a tubular covering around a connecting sac. Part of the yolk sac trapped with the embryo forms primitive gut, and protruding part of the yolk sac, or the extra embryonic part, forms an umbilical vesicle. Looking at the vitalointestinal duct, the omphaloenteric duct temporarily connects primitive gut with the umbilical vesicle. Okay, hope Jackson you're in class. Okay, the part of the primitive gut cranial to the vitalointestinal duct is the foregut, and the cord to it is the hindgut, whereas part of the gut communicating with it is called the midgut. So the table below shows the arrangement of the important structures of the embryo before and after folding in the craniocadral direction. So we tend to find that before folding of the embryo and after folding of the embryo, looking on your left, we tend to find that the septum transversum lies cranial to the precardial cavity and heart tube, whereas after folding of the embryo, the septum transversum lies caudal to the precardial cavity and the heart tube. That's the difference, members. Looking at the difference too, the heart tube lies below the precardial cavity, and then the heart tube lies above the precardial cavity, i.e. heart tube jumps from the floor to the precardial cavity to its roof. Looking at the before folding of the embryo, the precordial plate, and inside you have the precordial plate, forms buccopharyngeal membrane or oral membrane. And then looking back on your left, you have the cranial part of the neural plate lies above and behind the primitive bronchopharyngeal membrane, whereas after folding of the embryo, then find that the cranial part of the neural plate lies above and in front of the buccopharyngeal membrane or oral membrane, and forms the most cranial structure of the embryo. So then find that before folding of the embryo, the yolk sac lies below the embryo, whereas after folding of the embryo, most of the yolk sac is taken up with the embryo to form primitive gut, whereas before folding of the embryo, connecting sac is attached at the caudal aspect of the embryo, whereas the connecting sac is attached on the ventral aspect of the embryo. Whereas here, before folding of the embryo, allantois is directed caudally, whereas after folding of the embryo, allantois is directed ventrally. Next slide. So we're going to look at differentiation of the endoderm. So we're going to look at differentiation of the endoderm. Now, the flat endoderm is converted into the tubular structure due to formation of the embryonic folding, the head, tail, and the lateral folds. The endoderm tubular structure is divided into the foregut and the midgut and then the hindgut. Derivatives of the primitive gut. So gut to sagittal section of the embryo, showing the derivatives of the endoderm. Looking critically, on your right there is the embryo showing the derivatives of the endoderm. So look at the pharynx, the first one. Look at the pharyngeal pouches, the foregut, the stomach, the liver bud, sactic bud, the pancreas, the midgut and the hindgut. You have the cloacal membrane, you have the allantois, and then you look at the urinary bladder, and then the vitalointestinal duct, the lung bud, and then the sternum, the stomodium. So look critically on your left. I'm giving around 2 minutes. You analyze. In case you need to sketch, you can sketch. Well, feel free to subscribe to our channel, Shabita Uganda e-learning platform, whereby we provide free education resources to our community, and we are really so proud and profound to have you as a great supporting community. Let's move on now. We are going to look at now the changes in the embryonic period. So during the 4th week, in the summary, during the 4th week, there's increase in the somatic number, formation of 3 brain vesicles from the neurotube. We have the formation of the head and the tail folds. The 21st days and later, we have the heart starts beating, and then the 24th day, we have the first pharyngeal arch appearing, and then on the 26th day, 3 pairs of the pharyngeal arches, and then 26th, 27th day, we have the rudimentary forelimb and bud. Looking at the 28th day, we have the rudimentary hind limb and bud formation. Formation of the prominent of the brain vesicles, and then otic pits, then placido-ectodermal thickening appears. During the 50th week of intrauterine life, the following changes occur. We got the rapid growth of facial and head prominences, rapid growth of second pharyngeal arch, growth of forelimb buds, formation of ala and basal alamine of the neurotube, appearance of olfactory placodes maxillary for that process, appearance of gonadoringes. During the 6th week of intrauterine life, the following changes occur as summarized down. Shows spontaneous movement, growth of brain vesicles, looking at the appearance of the nasal processes, buccopharyngeal membrane ruptures, development of appendix, cecum and spleen, differentiation of the limb ligates between differential in the lower limbs start 4 to 5 later than upper limb. Umbilical hyalination is common. The 7th and the 8th week, in summary, during the 7th and the 8th weeks of intrauterine life, the following changes occur. Development of face, external ears, auricular hillock and eye, well-defined limbs and digits, development of metanephric kidneys, development of testes and ovaries, development of external genitalia. During the 8th week, coordinated limb movement occurs. Primary ossification centers start appearing. The caudal tail, like eminence, disappears. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to Shabita e-learning platform. We provide free education resources to you, our prominent viewers and prominent customers. Thanks. Let's catch again the next lesson, next slide, the next day. It has been Dr. Derek presenting this. Feel free to subscribe to our channel. We love you so much. Stay blessed.